kind of became more important or bigger.
Minus 2K viewers of the lawyer take? Yeah, everyone's leaving. You think 2,000 lawyers would watch me? What do you mean? All the lawyers would be watching XQC, I think.
In bigger movies, or doing, larger roles in movies that no one would see. And I guess, it still is kind of like that.
August 9 months.
I have written law articles on you. Oh, God. Oh, no.
2009. If you could just describe for the jury a little bit what types of parts you had.
It's terrifying.
I think they've indicated they didn't. You have not been well known here in this courtroom compared to Mr. Depp. So perhaps just take.
If I said PhDs and lawyers not welcome here, I'm fucking eliminating.
I did
like
30%
of my audience. It's all fucking broke ass grad students in here.
And, Pineapple Express and movies that were well known. My first one was Friday Night Lights, but again, I had small roles in those bigger films, and then I would do larger roles. In,
the reason why she's getting roasted as a nobody is because they can establish a power dynamic that way. That's the reason.
I did a project where I was the lead in a John Carpenter
film. The real reason why she's like, oh yeah, I'm just a tiny, kind of small bean.
How it was in terms of my career.
It's because in the end, that's going to work in her favor.
That first initial 10 years or so, it was just going from slightly bigger role to slightly bigger role.
I'm just a small bean nobody. Like, I'm getting groomed as a 27-year-old by like
so I'm going to take you up to
2008. Man.
Did there come a time that you auditioned for The Rum Diary?
Yes, I auditioned for that in about 2008, I believe.
Please describe for the jury your experience in auditioning for The Rum Diary.
Well, I auditioned a few times, which is common in my work.
She's the co-lead in Aquaman now, but she was tiny back then, is the point.
And I think I had at least one, maybe two callbacks with the director. And then I got a call saying that Johnny, who at the time was, I think I knew that he was producing it as well, was doing a project that was something very personal to him. He was reprising his role as his late friend, Hunter S. Thompson, and it was a very important
Johnny
project
Depp's watching
to him,
me on
and
his
that
phone,
he wanted to
straight
meet
up,
me in person.
No cap.
I thought I would be going for maybe an audition, but it was just a meeting. I went to his office and met with him for a few hours.
And what did you talk about during those few hours?
We talked about books and music, poetry. We like a lot of the same. We liked a lot of the same stuff. Obscure writers and interesting books and pieces of poetry that I haven't heard anybody else reference or know or like. And
what the fuck? If God didn't want fetuses to be aborted, why did he invent poverty? Like, just fix poverty? Until then, these wombs getting diced in like a dusty rug.
Books that he gave me, and we spent the whole time just.
This man writes for the Daily Show.
Things that we care about.
I love Jabuki. Fucking hilarious.
I was so surprised that somebody, I knew who he was. I wasn't familiar, I wasn't a fan of his work. I wasn't familiar with him, but I knew who he was. He's one of the most famous people in the world.
Objection.
So it was already a weird thing to go and get called into his office.
Lies.
And, I'm a no-name actor.
Do you understand? Do you understand? I'm a no-name actor. I'm a no-name actor. I'm a small bean.
It was weird because he was twice my age and he's this world-famous actor, and here we are getting along about obscure books.
Oh, dude, come on.
Old blues, and it was, I thought it was remarkable. I just hadn't really, I thought it was unusual and remarkable.
Bro, fucking Radlibs will suck up this argument too. They'll be like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you fucking got groomed, dude.
Be cast for the role in The Rum Diary.
Yes, a few days later, my agent said that Johnny's going to call you. We gave him your phone number. I was like, oh, okay. And shortly after, my phone rings. I pick it up, and I hear, this like deep voice on the other line, and he said, "You got you're it, kid. You're the dream. Hunter wrote this part, and
I'm telling you, dude. It's wait, what is this? There's a micro-influencer leftist lawyer TikToker that watches you and he's pretty based.
And this Hunter Thompson, what was the concept?
Oh yeah, this guy thirst traps and shit, right?
Well, it was my understanding that he was bringing to life his late friend. And what he told me was that this character is supposed to be the dream woman, like the dream, American dream. And so I knew what he meant. He indicated to me when he told me I got the role that I was that, that I was the dream kid. That's what he said.
So did there come a time that you started filming The Rum Diary?
Yes, I'm not quite sure how much. I think we started filming in maybe March of 2009.
And where did you film The Rum Diary?
We shot it in Puerto Rico.
And describe, if you can, the events of the filming and your interactions with Mr. Depp during that time.
It was a bit surreal, filming in a place like Puerto Rico.
No spoilers?
It's beautiful. It takes place in the 50s, so everything really looked beautiful. Cars and clothing, the music. It was a very colorful shoot in general. I couldn't have asked for
Can't believe you're spoiling The Rum Diaries, dude. I was totally going to watch that now.
On film. I mean, I was on set reading my books, and occasionally Johnny would talk to me, and then he started to be really kind to me, like more open with me when we'd have hot days filming.
6.1 on IMDb. Okay, I was kidding. I'm obviously not. I'm making a joke about. Let's be real. That movie's probably trash.
We'd have the AC blasting, and I'd be sitting in the back of the SUV, just thinking what a strange experience the whole thing was. And
8 months, and I can't
we
wait
didn't
for my rights
really
to
have
be
a whole lot
taken
of
away.
interaction on set until we did a scene that involved kissing. We had a kissing scene, and it didn't feel like a normal scene anymore. It felt more real. There are certain things that you do in the job to
she's saying that
like when you have to do
she's saying again, she's a young small bean, okay,
And
little city girl with big dreams,
don't use your
meets
tongue,
big Johnny
and
Depp,
if you
twice her
can avoid it, there's
age,
certain things that
ew,
you do
yuck,
just
grooming.
maintain a certain line,
And then
it
that
just felt
kissy
like the
poo
lines were
sparks
blurred,
a
and he
real
grabbed my
love
face
affair
and pulled me
that turns into a nightmare. That's the entire story from her perspective.
But we were filming a scene.
Did he use his tongue?
Yes.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Did you celebrate your birthday while you were in Puerto Rico?
I did. I celebrated, I think, maybe my 23rd birthday there.
And what, if anything, did Mr. Depp do for your birthday?
Well, we were already kind of talking about books and poetry and things like that. He gave me a few really beautiful poetry books. And he gave me a bicycle, like a vintage bicycle, because at the time I was riding around on a bike, and I had a lot of time off since I was a smaller role in the movie. And
Yeah, bro, this is a trial about
that was
elder
it.
abuse. You're right, Dr. Paxmore.
Now, did there come a
It's
time
straight elder
that,
abuse, homie.
You
Johnny
ended
Depp
up
is like 50, dog.
visiting him in his
He
trailer?
old.
yes, I think we would hang out if, after or in between scenes or in between setups. We often were, talking about things and would continue the conversation into the trailer, often with the director. Bruce Robinson was his name. And then at one point we talk about wine. It's another thing that Johnny and I shared in common, a love for wine, red wine. And we were talking about a kind of wine that I enjoyed, and I was, going on about how great this bargain wine was, and I didn't understand, how much more sophisticated Johnny's taste in wine was. So I was going on about the virtues of Malbec or something, and I brought him a bottle of this wine, and
Dude, Hollywood people
I
are so cringe.
set it down, and at some point,
Poetry and fucking
going
wine,
back
dude?
to get
Jesus
back to
Christ.
set, and he kind of kicked his foot up in the air.
Also, you can't simultaneously be like, I was a small bean at the age of 22, okay? and then be like, I love wine and poetry that this fucking old ass man was showing me. Like,
it was a period film, so it's.
I'm sorry,
place
but
in the
like,
50s.
what?
And so I had all of this.
No, you were like, oh shit, it's
old
Johnny Depp.
undergarments
Like, that's
that
hot. I
for
think
that
that's super
time era,
cool.
On, and the scene involved me changing
So much so that I'm gonna fake it. It's
so
like
I
when
had all
women
the
laugh at my
costume
jokes.
on.
Am I funny? Fuck no.